Hello, fellow stick slingers. Hi there. Right, I just thought I'd make a quick video. I might be making a couple of videos actually. I haven't been able to get out and do any shooting because of the atrocious weather we're having at the moment. I mean, believe it or not, we've actually been issued with a threat to life weather warning by the Met Office. Now, don't worry, it sounds a lot more dramatic than it actually is. It basically means we're entering our windy season, where we have gales which are capable of bringing trees down and whipping tiles off roofs, that sort of thing. But the main problem is the rain. It is absolutely torrential and has been for about a week now. It stops every now and again, so I grab my gear and I run out, and as soon as I get outside, I'm sure it's waiting for me, it starts raining again. And the only time it really stops raining for any length of time is actually at night in the dark, when I can't do anything anywhere. So I've been stuck indoors watching videos. Some of them have been quite interesting. There's some really interesting stuff on YouTube. Some of it is really, I won't swear, irritating. Some of the stuff that people come out with, honestly, the mind boggles, you know. But anyway, I was watching a video this morning by Armin Hermer, and he was talking about the whys and wherefores of archery, as he does. Every now and again he puts it like quite an interesting video up about, that's nothing to do with the actual equipment, it's about the philosophy, the reasons for archery. And it got me thinking. I can't remember what it was he said, but he said something, got me thinking, took me on a stroll down memory lane, back to my first bow, shall we call it. It was, I called it a bow, it was one I made myself, and it was my first, I would say, serious attempt at having a go at archery. I mean, it was just a kid's thing. I think it was like 6, 7, 8, something like that. It was the same year that my dad took me on the floorboard salvaging trip excursion that I've already mentioned in one of my other videos that he made arrows out of. And I decided, just to give you an idea, during the summer in the UK in the 1960s, the TV on the morning up until dinner time, 12, 1 o'clock, was, apart from Sundays, was dedicated entirely to kids. We had the Children's Film Foundation, who made Enid Blyton, like films like Enid Blyton stories, like Swallows and Amazons, that sort of thing, the Famous Five. And there was always a short format TV series, something like Flash Gordon. There was nearly always a cowboy and Indian one as well. And that year I became obsessed with Indians. And I decided, with the American Indians, the Native Indians, I decided to make, or should I say Native Americans, I was going to make a bow. Because I always seem to end up playing, when we played Cowboys and Indians, I always seem to end up playing the Indian anyway. So I thought, right, or one of the Indians. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a bow. Now, I'd had the plastic bows that all kids have, you know, the ones that come with the Cowboys and Indians sets, plastic ones that are powered by a length of elastic, and they have they had wooden arrows with rubber suckers on the end, and they last as long as it takes to lose them. Anyway, but I thought, right, I'm going to go one better, and I made a bow, and I liberated some bamboo garden canes from my next door neighbour's garden. I got a fairly thick one, which was to be the bow, and I cut that down to, it ended up being about 3 foot long or something like that. And I cut a V-notch in each end, looped a string over it, and then tied it round, a bit like serving. Tied it round to hold the whole thing on. Stretched it tight, no bracing involved, and did the same at the other end and tied it on. So it was literally just a stick with a string tied fairly tight to it. And the arrow was just a thinner piece of bamboo, cut to about 2 foot long, probably even less than that actually, with a notch cut in the end to sit on the string, and that was my bow. And I loved it. I spent an entire summer trying to convince everybody that the only game we were going to play was Cowboys and Indians. The arrow, I ended up like pinching tape. I pinched some of my dad's tape and taped the end up. And it got to the point where my friends hated me because I could hit them at 30 paces, no problem whatsoever, and I was shooting them left, right and centre. And of course, the arguments were they had a cap gun, they would point the gun at me, and I was like, ah, you missed, and then I'd shoot them with an arrow. And they couldn't argue whether I'd missed or not, because I'd hit them with it. It's great. I really enjoyed that summer. It's great fun. The bow itself, I think by the end of the 6 weeks holidays, it ended up being more tape than it was wood, because it split so many times. And instead of making another one, I just taped it, bound it up with tape. And in the end, it was like, oh. But I got quite good with it. Like I said, I could hit my mates with it at 30 paces, no bother. I could hit a tin can at 15 paces 7 out of 10 times. And it was great fun. Anyway, so those are that's my stroll down memory lane about my first bow. What was your first bow? Was it like me? Was it one of those cheap plastic toys that everybody got that came in, like in the Cowboys and Indians sets? Was it something you made, like what I made, like the similar sort of thing I made? Or was it something that, were you a posh kid? Did you get a proper bow to play with? Anyway, put some comments in the comment section down below, and we'll see if we can get some interesting comments. Anyway, that's my bad weather video. Talk again soon, guys. Cheers.